Hello, my name is David. I'm one of the leaders of Cap City BTC, which is a Bitcoin meetup group that also discusses crypto. I am a Bitcoiner at heart, and I'm in Bitcoin because of the idea of self-sovereignty and the power to basically be your own bank, and um, and that's it. So, anyways, today I am showing off a screen. If you see this, this is Liquity, liquity.org. And as you can see on the front page, it says zero interest loans, and that is correct. Right now, there's only $454 million locked in this value, this protocol total. The way this does this is what we call it's an over collateralized loan. I'm going to bring up this diagram that was provided by Derek N from on Twitter. Anyways, this kind of shows you what happens here. This is an overview of the liquidity protocol model in normal mode. You have a wallet connection here. A person opens up a Trove, deposits their ETH into the Trove, and then they have a minimum collateral. They have to be over collateralized 110%. And then what happens is it goes through the system. Typically, there is a front end that's allowing you to do this. The front end does they get LQTY. They benefit from providing the front end and get paid off in LQTY plus some of the fees. Anyways, the user deposits their money into the Trove. Then they take out and borrow LUSD, and the LUSD goes back to their wallet. Those who want to earn platform fees and be like the bank can own this LQTY, stake that into the pool, and they'll earn a portion of the fees. Now, we did say this is 0% interest. There is a fee charged by the front end and by the protocol. It's about 0.5%. That can fluctuate based off the front end because each front end is allowed to choose what they want to kind of, charge. And then the 0.5% that is charged, part of it goes to kind of a payoff fee, a payoff thing towards the end. But the other portion of it goes also to the liquidity stakers. You're going to have to do your own due diligence. There's a lot more to understanding the protocol more in depth. This is just basically giving you a brief example. Once you have the LUSD, you can then go swap it out into another token if you want, or you can go stake it in stability pool. If you stake in the stability pool, what you can actually do is you can actually buy up liquidations. So in this example, they deposit their LUSD into the stability pool. A proportion of the debt is burned if somebody gets liquidated. And what a liquidation is when your underlying value drops below a certain threshold. So if this is all against ETH, right? So if that ETH value drops, so that way your collateral ratio is no longer 110%, your account can get liquidated to pay off those debts. And because you're over collateralized, it's not like debt forgiveness. It's more like you're selling your collateral. So basically what happens is it liquidates the account to then pay for the debt position that you've taken out. So then, essentially there's no more loan to pay back because you've already paid it back by selling off the ETH. So that's that. You can take a look at that. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you just a brief example. I'm not going to actually pull out a Trove right now, but I'm going to show you an example. So let's take a look at that. So this is a platform. There are multiple front ends. If we were to go here, we can see a list of different front ends. These are partners that invested in it. What's interesting is if you want to use a front end, anybody can basically, with their SDK, can spin up a front end. And because of that, there's multiple sites. So, which is really nice because it makes it hard to shut down, right? It's one of those things that if it were to shut down, that somebody else could pick up the code and basically rebuild the front end. So today, I'm going to show you briefly one of these front ends, and I'm actually not. I think it's not Liquity app. I'm not seeing the front end that I have up. Actually, maybe, yeah, I think it's liquity.fi. I do already have it open right here. And so when you go there, this is an example. This is kind of a dashboard. This is kind of the one of the initial dashboards. This shows you the total supply. There's 177 million uh, total supply, LUSD in the stability pool. So 133 million of the LUSD is in the stability pool. And what that means is this is basically the amount that if ETH drops, it'll buy back those liquidations of ETH, right? So between this and this, we can say that, there's about, what's that, about four? Looks like there's about 44 million out there in the circulating economy of DeFi. So the rest of it looks like it's in stability pool, which basically is there to back up the protocol. So that way, if there are massive liquidations, it buys up the ETH. And the cool thing is if you're in the stability pool, which is this right here, you will actually get that ETH at a discount upon a liquidation. Not only that, but it also pays currently is paying 2% APY, and that APY is paid out in the LQTY token. And that LQTY token is then staked over here. And if you stake the LQTY token, you can earn the 0.5% fees that get generated by the platform. Portion of the fee is paid in LUSD, so you get that. And then if there are, I think if there's repayment, I think you get some ETH. I forget because it's been a while. But anyways, that's that. I'm not making a recommendation. I'm not making any financial. This is not financial advice. I'm just showing you how the protocol works for educational purposes. There is a liquidation screen here. This liquidation screen will show you the debt positions that are outstanding as soon as it loads. And it's actually taking a bit of time. So what I will do is I will actually come back to this, and hopefully by then it will load. They have a nice screen here that kind of shows you some of the statistics on the protocol. APR, 7-day average on the APR, total collateral ratio overall, the protocol revenue. The protocol has generated $29 million in revenue. The amount of liquidity is circulating. Looks like they actually say it's more. You can see that it's kind of fallen off a little bit with how the market's kind of pulled back in crypto, which is to be expected. This is still loading, and I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, there we go. Just had a refresh. And these are all the addresses that have loans. So you can actually take a look at these addresses. These are the wallet addresses that people are using to take out loans. This shows you the amount of ETH they have as collateral deposit in the protocol, and this shows you the amount of debt. So, and this shows you their collateral ratio. So they are over collateralized by 136%. Realize the liquidation ratio is 110. So if this was a drop another 30%, they could potentially be liquidated. So understand that there is a risk ratio. It's typically best to be over collateralized quite a bit. But what's amazing is, here this person is taking out a loan for $24,000 at 0% interest. This person is taking out a $2,000 loan at 0% interest. So how are they doing that? What's that look like? That's real easy. What we're going to do is we're going to look at a trove. So here's the trove. If I was to, well, first of all, let's get it. A lot of people aren't aware of crypto and aren't familiar with the price of things. So we're going to look at ETH right now. And if we look at ETH, we'll see that ETH is 1,334, right? So let's say you have, so 10 ETH would be $10,000, right? 10,000, well, actually it'd be $13,000. So let's say you had 10 ETH. And let's say you want to go over to this protocol and you were going to deposit your 10 ETH. All right. And if it's worth $13,000 and you take out 10,000, you're going to see you're going to have a collateral ratio here of 129%. Now that is pretty risky. I don't know if I would comfortably do that. I think we could easily see ETH maybe go down to $7,000 at some point in a worst case scenario. It's not unheard of, only 2 or 3 years ago, ETH was 194. Now keep in mind that if it did drop below that certain value, it's going to sell that ETH. So if you have the ability, you may be able to buy it back because you'd be buying it back at a cheaper price. So, but I don't necessarily taking a needed risk. So, but let's say you needed to go put a down payment on the car. You deposit your 10 ETH. You don't have to sell the asset. The asset can be redeemed upon repayment. You put the 10 ETH in, which is $13,000, and now you're holding on to the ETH asset, still holding on to it, not having to sell it, but now you can go extract $5,000 in LUSD. By extracting that $5,000, your liquidation price on the ETH right here shows you that you would be liquidated if ETH fell to $550. All right, you deposited 10 ETH. The liquidation reserve, they basically take $200 to cover the cost of liquidation, and that gets paid out to the LQQI holders, as far as I understand. The fee that you're paying for this loan is only $25, right? And so what their total debt position that you would have to pay back off is $5,225. So your cost to take out this loan of $5,000 is $225. So if with no interest, right? So that's the benefit. So if we're taking out $225, divide that by 522.5, you're paying approximately 4.3%. All right. This is it right here. So we're going to times that by 100. You're paying 4.3% for the cost of this loan, right? And who knows? Some people might say that that might be expensive. I don't know. Loans at right now at 7%. The benefit, you're paying an upfront origination fee. It's the liquidation reserve. Like now, what's interesting is if we increase the size of this loan, I don't think the liquidation reserve increases that much. So now, if you notice, the liquidation reserve is still only $200, right? And I don't know if that covers a gas fee or whatnot, but if you notice that, the more you're taking out, the less it's costing you, right? So if we're taking out $50,000 here, and it's only costing us $450, right? So it's going to cost us $450 now to take out 50,450. It's only costing us 0.8%. All right. So obviously, you're going to want to take out more if you're going to use this protocol because the smaller amount is going to be penalized because you're always paying this $200 liquidation reserve, which is important to know, right? But the benefit of this protocol is the fact that you don't pay interest and you make payments on this loan as you want, which is pretty awesome. This is kind of unheard of technology. It's a protocol. People ask, well, how can this afford to do that? Because it's like the internet, it's on a blockchain, it's decentralized, and it's out there on the web. Anybody can run a front end. It can't be taken down. It's on a blockchain that people are mining and getting reward to support the network. So it cannot be taken down. And because it cannot be taken down and because there's no maintenance to this and the maintenance cost is so minimal that it's built into the protocol to take care of itself, that this can run that cheap and that efficient. All right. So we just borrowed, let's say we threw in 100 ETH, right? Don't go rushing out and buying 100 ETH. That's quite a bit of money. But let's say you had 100 ETH, right? And you borrowed 50,000. It only costs you $450, right? Well, here's the great thing. So what we do now is we go to another project called Uniswap, uniswap.org. And this is a decentralized exchange. This is where we can swap from one current cryptocurrency to another just by connecting our hardware wallet, right? So we go to this application and we say, okay, hey, guess what? I have LUSD. All right. Now it's going to tell me I don't have any right now because obviously I don't have it in my wallet. But let's say I have that and I want USDC. Why? Because I can throw USDC right from my crypto account into my Coinbase account and they'll give me cash for it, right? So I go, hey, I got 50,000 LUSD right now. Well, so I throw the 50,000 LUSD, but look at this. LUSD right now is actually worth more than dollars. All right. So they're actually going to give me 51,234. Wait a second. Like that just covered my fee, right? That just covered my fee and gave me more money that I actually needed for that loan, right? So I could actually take slightly less and still get the same amount of dollars. And over time, go pay off your loan, go buy your car with this, right? I'm still holding on to my ETH asset. So long-term, I got long-term exposure to ETH. My only concern, like I said, is making sure that my portfolio doesn't get liquidated. Where's that liquidation screen again? The liquidation screen, right? Like I just want to make sure. So I want to have some alert set up that says that, hey, if ETH gets close to $600-700, that hey, I need to probably go add more ETH to this position or pay down my debt, right? But then again, it's like you're taking money out, keeping a long-term exposure, and being able to buy something that might charge you 4, 5, 6%, right? And you're doing it at 0% interest. And so now you can make your dollars go further. Now the trick of the question is well, wait a second. That means you actually have to have that ETH, right? And that is true. That is true. Not recommending it. There's some people who are actually going out there, refinancing, buying this stuff, taking the loan back out, and then paying off the refinances, right? There's some crazy stuff that can be done out there. I'm not recommending any of that. It is completely speculative, but it's awesome to see this technology evolving. I'm not personally using the protocol yet because I'm watching to see how the crypto economy goes through this next downturn and to see how far we actually do go down. But this is one of the applications that I'm closely watching. I do own the LQTY token, and I do have it staked into the protocol, and I'm actually earning some of these fees. I earned about $1,500 in fees for that 0.5% throughout the last year. Wasn't bad. My investment is down. If we actually did take a look at this token, the LQTY token, we will see that it's actually fallen quite a bit. It's at 59 cents, and sadly enough, it was back at like $6. I think I got in right around in the $4 range. I forget where I got in. It was as high as $73, 47, and obviously it's kind of had a cliff plateau. I think I got in somewhere around $4, $5, $6. And then obviously it's fallen quite significantly. But that's crypto. That's kind of the token pattern for anything, because all of these tokens initially start off with a very high APR. That APR is directly correlated to the inflation rate. So if you see a token that says, hey, it's giving you 1,000 APR, that is giving you 1,000 APR simply because that is the emission rate almost, or it's correlated to the emission rate of the token supply. And so what happens is over time, it's going to continue to dilute. It's just like fiat currency. We don't see it in the dollar, but the dollar has debasement from an increase in supply of capital, right? And the way we see that debasement of our capital is through the inflation of the cost of everything else going up over time. This is how currency works. So anyways, when you understand that, that's why these cryptocurrencies go down. The benefit is there's only 100 million of them. Once they've been created, like there cannot be any more than 100 million of this token. So once it's been fully distributed, it's done. And so right now they've already distributed 89,948,092. So that means we've only got about 11 million left to be distributed before it's completely distributed. And then the platform is basically set, and whoever owns it is going to receive the benefits of the platform long term. So this is what's cool about the DeFi system is you can actually own a piece of this and see that. So now what I can actually do to show you that a little bit further, if I go to the platform called DBank, right? And we go look at DBank and we go LQTY, we can look up this protocol and it should come up, I would hope. It's not, it's bringing up people. Maybe I just need to do that. No, that's not. Let's go look up token. Oh, they don't have it. And I haven't created an account on here. Well, that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to do this instead. We'll go to, I know I'm flying through this real quick. I'm sorry. LQTY. We're going to go to here, Liquity. This is the contract. Look, we actually probably copied and paste this. Let's go copy and paste this over here. And if we go copy and paste that contract, it didn't work there. The token LQTY. Well, we can go like this. So if we go to LQTY, this is the token and this is the contract address, and we go click on holders, you can actually click and see who the largest holders are and where who's holding what funds. So Liquity staking, this is how much is deposited. Now this deposit of stake, the stake deposit is multiple people who are all staking in this. So like people such as myself are staking this. This is a community issuance. This must be the amount that is given out to the community for using it. And then these are all different wallets. And the wallets, are rewarded by, staking in it early and providing capital and all this good stuff. It is available on Coinbase. They have quite a bit they have some over on Coinbase. So if you are interested in the protocol, you get it. You can also get it through traditional DeFi means, such as Uniswap. And it doesn't give me a whole lot of fees. But the thing is if we look at it right now, if we look at how many holders, there's only 9,219 holders of this token. That's not a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know how many people are holding Apple, but that's not a lot. So it's a very fascinating protocol. This is one of my favorite protocols. What's also interesting about this protocol is there is an SDK, so anybody can do the front end. There is also there's also a GitHub, right? So what's fascinating about this protocol is there's actually people forking this project, right? So this is a pretty popular project. But what's really cool is that you can actually find this project, and there are 206 forks. And it's one of the ones I've been kind of interested in watching. But there's this protocol out there for other platforms as well. So there's people who are doing this over on the Binance chain, ETHW, you name it. People have forked this to multiple chains. So I'm always interested in seeing where this project goes. I'm really looking forward to seeing this project using Bitcoin. But anyways, that is Liquity.fi, and this is what I see as the future evolution of finance for those who are in crypto. And there are many other platforms similar to this that are coming out, and the financial revolution that we're about to see is pretty epic. And I'm just hoping that we don't see regulation try to squash this. If they do, it will only hurt Americans. It will not hurt the rest of the world because this is global. Anybody can access this from around the world. And if we fight this and we try to remove this stuff, we are only taking away, the ability to have this ability, this financial inclusion away from our own people. So anyways, that's a brief tour of Liquity.fi. I love bank stocks. I love DeFi banks even better. It's all about, providing best service and getting the most value for your money. Obviously, it benefits those who have a larger stack of crypto. But this is one of those things as crypto continues to grow, it builds in value. We consider Bitcoin hard money. I'm looking for this project to be hopefully forked into a version of Wrap Bitcoin, which would then incentivize institutions to basically take Bitcoin and using a platform called BitGo. If what I want happened tomorrow, and we had here's BitGo. If we had WBTC, here, let me go to Google. The dream for me is having WBTC out there, right? And WBTC is minted by institutions, those who can do like 100,000 a week. And it's a derivative of Bitcoin, but it's a Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain. So it gives you the ability to mint it. It's controlled by a DAO of multiple companies. But it cannot be censored, which is pretty cool. And you can see how much is in custody of a Bitcoin. Basically, an institution will come in, deposit their Bitcoin, mint the WBTC, and then the WBTC network. It could then be the WBTC derivative could then be used on the Ethereum chain. What I'm really looking forward to is when we have a version of Liquity that is incorporated WBTC, and if that happens, then what happens is institutions will be able to go out, mint WBTC, and then potentially even borrow at a 0.5%. Origination fee with no interest. And I think that is huge in financial markets. I think that could be game changing. And I see banks really not liking that. So I'm really hoping that we don't allow banks to come in here and regulate and try to take over this space. I'm hoping what we do is we continue to see value built and that we open that value and that ability up to everybody and not just safeguard it for certain selected individuals. And I think that's one of the things I think we're going to start to see is that, with things like the FTX collapse, they're trying to blame that on crypto when really that's not a crypto problem. That is a problem with how systems are set up and the fact that we trust institutions. And, you got FDIC joking about bail-ins right now. And that went out viral on YouTube. And so when you start realizing the amount of risk in the space and the ability to control your own wealth through things like Bitcoin, I think when you start putting all the pieces together, you see a new future where it's going, and I see a lot of potential in this. So, anyways, this is a brief tour, just a few things that excite me in the crypto space. Not financial advice. Crypto is still heavily volatile. You've seen it hopefully this last year go from $64, $69,000 down to 17. It's not for the faint heart. Of course, we've seen the market drop as well. But this is just kind of showing you a glimpse of some of the financial innovation in the space. What's amazing about this space is through a program like this, you can literally go and look at wallets. So if I wanted to go, I think I can look up protocols. Now, these are only users. You used to be able to look up protocols too in smart contracts. It doesn't look like you can anymore. I think they've segregated it off. Oh, you can. You can look at protocols. Okay, so this is really cool. One of the things that you can do, this is called dbank.com. On dbank, you can go and look up different protocols. So these are all just different basically tokens associated with different various DeFi platforms. ETH2 is for staking, so this is also staking. Curve is a major liquidity pool for trading between various cryptos. Usually your blue chips like your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, and your stable coins. Aave is another DeFi bank. Maker is also kind of a DeFi bank where you can borrow against your crypto. Convex kind of utilizes Curve. So all these have different things, but what's really cool is like Compound's another DeFi bank. You can click on these and you can go see at the holders, who the holders are. And apparently now they blocked off access. So now you have to be a pro. Okay, that's something new. They did not do that previously. So this app is evolving, which is unfortunate. But anyways, you can go and see who's holding what in these profiles. You can also follow whales and follow various wallets and see what those wallets are doing. So like this person has 622 million. Well, this is his wallet address, and you just click on the account. If you click on the account, you can see what this wallet is holding for assets. They're mostly, it looks like they don't have a lot in their wallet, it looks like, but they have, okay, this is all ETH staking. So this person, whoever this individual has staked all their ETH into ETH 2.0 staking. So who knows who this entity is. So some obfuscation there because you don't know who that wallet is. That wallet is on chain. You can find others who actually have names. I don't see any on here. But like there's a few names I know. We go like Penny, I think Penniless Walsey, I think it is. Penniless Walsey. Yeah, it's amazing some of these names. So this is the one guy I follow, just to see what they have. You can see what's in his wallet, which is pretty dope. See what tokens he's holding, where he thinks things are good. You can see what DeFi protocols he's in, and you can see his rewards that he's currently received. Who knows when the last time he checked out. If you're not sure, you're like, well, that's not very much. Well, what you can actually do is you can actually go up to his history, and you can scroll through his history to see, when was the last time he pulled funds out, or when the last time he deposited something. And you can actually look at the history, what somebody else is doing, which is cool because it kind of can, you can learn through that. You can learn and teach yourself more about crypto by looking at other people's wallets and seeing what other people are doing. And where they're going. As you can see, hey, look, he's using Liquity. Penniless Lazy has deposited 6,004 ETH for $8 million, and he's taken a loan out for $4 million. Not bad. And that was probably a cheap loan. I gotta admit, I wouldn't mind taking $4.5 million out, right? If I had that much ETH. That's pretty sweet. And then what did he do with that ETH? He's put 500,000 of it back into the protocol to earn fees and to earn more liquidity. And then who knows what he's done with the rest of it. He's staked. He's got 20,000 LQTY staked. He's earned 651 in LUSD, and he's earned some ETH. So he's out there. He's obviously a baller with that much money. Probably early to crypto, and then he's into all these other protocols. What's fascinating is if we see that he has that much LUSD, what we can actually do is we can actually go to his history, which is pretty cool. We can go up here to we're going to go to click on ETH, and we're going to filter by token. We're going to say LUSD. We're going to select the LUSD, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to see what he did with his LUSD. So he, oddly enough, okay, he withdrew his LUSD and received 35 LQTY. Here he deposited 250 for 289. I'm not seeing where he swapped it out. Interesting. Yeah, I'd have to dig into it more. I'm really curious on what he did with his LUSD. Maybe he's just using the protocol. Matcha? He's using Matcha. So here he sold 700 ETH to get 743,000 LUSD back. Interesting. So I don't know what he's doing with Matcha. Okay, so he had USDC, and he got, so this is USDC. So he must have gotten USDC at one point. He's basically taken USDC, bought more LUSD, and then got rid of the LUSD. He provided the LUSD into the stability pool, and then collected the LQTY, and he adjusted his trove, and it looks like he took out 1,000 ETH. So it sounds like he may have been paying down his debt to remove some ETH. But then he put in 250 and pulled back out 289 LUSD. And then he adjusted the trove by 200. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what this guy's doing. I'd have to go back through and kind of look through more of his stuff. But yeah. So anyways, fascinating stuff. That's some of the world of DeFi, and some of what's going on out there. And then what else? We could look at beefy.finance real quick while we're here. And if we go look at Beefy, Beefy is recently added over to ETH. If we look at all available vaults, you can see this is a multi-BTC, SBTC, and WBTC using convex, and curve. That is actually pretty sweet. It's making 20% APY on ETH. Wow, that is cool. I do not know what this multi-BTC is. I'd have to double check with that. I am familiar with the WBTC and the SBTC. SBTC is a synthetic. I do not know about the multi, so I'd have to look at that first. You can see SBTC and WBTC right here are making 5%. This multi might give me a little bit concerned if it's something new. Anyways, so these are various DeFi platforms and protocols. I don't think there's anything on here for LUSD. Nope, there's not. Curve does have something. Curve.fi. If we were to go to curve.fi and we were to go to pools, and we were to search by pools by LUSD, we will see that LUSD comes up here. So you can do a quad pool with LUSD, DAI, USDC, and Tether. And it looks like it's paying somewhere about 0.74, so somewhere in this range. So not very high. Obviously, it's better to get value in your bank right now. This one's doing a little bit better. So I'm not too big on the lending of these, but I really do like the utility of crypto. And again, I'm just kind of educating. This is for educational purposes only. I'm trying to educate you and show you where the technology is going. And I hope you enjoyed this. Anyways, take care and peace out.